Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to look at a children's book from 1984 called Co, the Good Dragon at the Center of the World. Now, what makes this book creepy is that the name Co, of course, it also stands for Center of the Earth or Center of the World, which is the name of the book, also means twin. The name Co means twin. Now, I want to thank Tracy for sending me screenshots of this book. She actually purchased the book, sent me screenshots of it. And so what you're about to see next really has not been seen by anybody who had not purchased the book, because there's nowhere online that has a complete library of the pages in a PDF format. So what you're going to see, no one else has seen unless you own the book. Now, we're looking at copies of this book. Some of them were going up to $500. I think Tracy's copy that she got was like $100 or something like that. That's still way too much to pay for a children's book. And many of those of you who have hard copies of any kind of book, you know that anytime they don't want you reading something, they will make these books cost lots and lots of money. Hundreds and hundreds, sometimes thousands of dollars for some of these books. And that's because they don't want you reading this information. So this is one such example. Now, what is this book about, and why are we covering a children's book today? Well, if you're new to the channel, or you just tuned in, or just getting caught up to speed on this particular story, this book was written as a prelude by the builder of an occult site called Felicity California. Now, it says here 1985, the author wrote the book, but you'll see in the book, it's 1984, which of course is the pivotal year, the beginning of the end of America, when the erosion of freedoms and rights began, and we are now living in the prelude to the dystopian future, a future of the surveillance state, of mind think, teaching you and forcing you how to think, how to act, cancel culture. All of these things didn't used to exist, but now they exist. We are in 1984. Now, what is up with Felicity California? Well, I did a couple videos on this so far. It's an occult site with pyramids and alignments. There's a giant serpent that's crowned with the church that we found from the sky. All kinds of crazy stuff. And this is a place with dark roots and stories of trafficking and sacrifice and secrets. Now, let's get into some of these pages. And at the end of the show, I'm going to show you an update on the Honey Milk Ranch. We'll try to end on a positive note. And but for now, we need to get through this book, Co, the Dragon at the Center of the World. And these end pages say it all. A circle of dragons eating their own tail. The Ouroboros. Now, also, there's an occult date in the pages here. May 22nd, 1952, if I could zoom on this correctly. May 22nd, 1952. What's up with the occult date 5/22? Well, May 22nd, 5/22 has 223 days left in the year. That's 223, which is 322 backwards. So it forms like a bizarre mirror, right? And look at this. 5/22 and then 1952. So there's another 5 too. So there's something to this. Now, these pages are in no particular order, but here's what else I found disturbing. A map of Wuhan, China at the center. We'll get into that page as well, with the longitudinal line running right through Wuhan, China. This was 1984, you guys. There's also talk of dragons kissing children on the cheek, which is also somewhat disturbing. Let's get into some of these pages, you guys. Now, the book starts off here. Here's the May 22nd, 1982. It's a letter from the author and the builder of Felicity. And as you can see here, text and illustrations, 1984. So, I'm not trying to stretch this just to fit the 1984. There it is right there. We're going to go through these pages. I have not actually sat down and went through this page by page. I took the highlights. So we're going to get through this book together today. And if there's anything I miss, please put it in the comments section. Let's back up here. It says, to Supervisor Abe, whatever, with best wishes from the good dragon and from their human ambassador, Jay. So, the author and builder of Felicity is calling himself the human ambassador to the good dragon. This looks like the red, white, and blue of America. The dragon is represented with the spiral tail. And after great adventures told in the quest of that's weird. Ko emerged one night breathing fire, clawing the ground, exercising his wings, and looking at the stars. Let's count these spikes on his back. 1, 2, because there's always clues in the numbers, right? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So that kind of lines up with the 522 and the date. The man called Jay was there. You, Jay, said Ko, are our human ambassador. So he was selected by the dragon. This is crazy, you guys. What a creepy story. Published and printed in the United States by Bluebird Press. Whittemore, California, 92395. This is just the end papers here. Remember, this was 1984. Let's keep reading here. Looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hills. That lines up with the 522 date. Dragons like warm places. Long ago, when families settled at the very middle of hold on. Let's back up here. Dragons like warm places long ago when there were still dinosaurs on the surface. Ko's family settled at the very middle of the earth, and they have been there ever since. Now look at this. That almost looks suggestive there with these two dinosaurs. And then Ko goes down with his family to the center of the earth. Now, you guys have long since known that my theory on all this is that the Book of Enoch says that the fallen ones sinned against reptiles and animals. And I believe what that word sinned against means is they genetically modified the animals of the pre-flood era. And in doing that, they created these massive dinosaurs. Why? Well, so they could hunt them and eat them. Look at the 2 needles they're using here. 2 needles to basically do knitting. But in this case, I think we all know what this is really about. It's got a 66 on its pineal position, like the mark, possibly. on that one particular dragon. I can't read that. Dragon something something, that's something. I can't read the rest of that. But also this almost appears to be a bunch of inverted 666s if you were wanting to make that connection. Let's keep going here. Ko's father was a scholarly and ceremonial dragon. His presence was required at all weddings, funerals, baptisms, and public occasions. He breathed fire fiercely, hence his books were fireproof. Whoa. So, the ruler of this world, the Bible tells us who it is. It's the devil. And it appears as though when the flood happened, that great dragon found himself in the valleys and mountains of the earth, which is exactly what the book of Enoch says happened to these dragons and spirits. They were locked into the center of the earth, or into, it says, the valleys and mountains of the earth. And it says in Enoch that when that happened, sulfur was created. And this particular sulfur is what powered the hot springs. And then there's a prophecy in the book of Enoch that says that when these hot springs grow cold, then that means that these entities have been released to judgment. Not released to run free, but released for judgment. So far this book's pretty accurate, isn't it? Look at all these books that this Ko's father was in charge of. Ceremonial dress, weddings, dragon lore, dragon peerage. I don't know what that is. Family photos, contracts, world history, legal history. So the whole legal system the dragon was in charge of. Let's read about Ko's mother. Can't get this zoom right. Sorry, guys. Ko's mother was, can't read that, dragon lady, one half fiery puff from her left nostril. Can't read that. Baked bread that a French cook would envy. Baked bread that a French cook would envy. At the same time, she would bake a pie with her right nostril, but she only did that when no one was looking. She instructed Ko that dragons, and particularly dragon ladies, never show off. So she's baking with her hot breath. Let's keep going here. Ko was often bored and restless. He needed a mission. One day he consulted Wad, the wisest and oldest dragon. Wad lived in a deep cave near a river of lava. One could hardly see through the steam. Ko knocked and waited respectfully. "Come in," said Wad. "I have been expecting you." Wonder what that's about. Omala Viticus, Opoxy Malongo, Wangala Butterping, Frobisher Zingo, come to dinner right away. Dragons have long names, said Wad. Your mother calls you, and then they spell it all out here. It is a bit clumsy when called to dinner, but your name is now Ko. It stands for Center of the World, and it is a prophecy. Oh boy, the plot thickens. Now, it's weird because Center of the World is not the acronym for Center for COE, right? COE would be Center of Earth, but they keep saying Center of World. But let's take a closer look at this name that Ko originally had. Remember, this was 1984. Omala Viticus Opoxy Molongo. Now this sounds like gibberish, and it may be, but maybe there's something else in here. Wangala, Butterping, Frobisher, Zingo. So we'll have to run this through an anagram finder to see if there's any scrambled words in here. But that's pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. Let's keep going here. As Wad said the word prophecy, the ground shook and rumbled, and lightning flashed. You will climb to the surface and emerge at the official center of the earth. You will name and establish the official center of the world. That is your quest, said Wad. Oh boy. Look at the glasses. Octagons, 88 in the glasses. Let's zoom this up a little bit. How will I know where to go exactly? Asked Ko. The center of the world is a place of the spirit as well as a fixed point, said Wad. So they've got pioneers here. Fresh air. What's on here? 327. Oh boy. So you got the number of the beast, which is 237 on the biplane. They're cutting down trees, which is also from the book of Enoch. It says the angels labored at the trees. And we thought that those might be tree portals. A place of the spirit. There's a hot air balloon, so there's your helium. It isn't a place, after all. You are a dragon. It is named for happiness, a desire of all creatures, and a gift of God, earned and kept only by the hard work and virtue. And that is actually what the name Felicity means. It means like happiness. But there's also a dark meaning to it, or an alternate meaning. We won't call it a dark meaning. We are in the year of the cat, and the name Felicity also doubles for the name feline. It has the pioneer spirit. The air is always clean. It has a human ambassador who understands dragons. It welcomes all humans who work hard and protect their families. Wow. Finally, Wad said, you will know the exact spot by your likeness. On with your quest. It will be difficult and dangerous. Good luck and good courage. Argolex next Megatour. This is a solemn dragon blessing and encouragement. Oh boy. Now what is this by your likeness? Well, when you go into Google Earth, you can almost make out some kind of bizarre dragon-like feature in the landscape. Maybe we'll look at that at the end of the show here. Let's keep going. Ko thanked Wad. Then he studied and studied and studied and studied. He memorized maps of the surface and found in a warm part of a great free country the Chocolate Mountains. Dragons, like ourselves, like chocolate. So he studied all the maps. You got France, Ireland, Mexico. But look at how China is broke apart here on its own side of the page with Wuhan at the center. Felicity. And it shows a dragon statue here. And this is where they decided to build. It says, while reading the Dragon Times, Ko saw that near the Chocolate Mountains, a pioneer named Jay was building a house at a place named Felicity. This means happiness, and there was the likeness of Ko. This is it, said Ko. Eureka, he set forth. Ko says goodbye to his parents. Ko then said to Jay, only you can speak to dragons. Bring me questions from human beings. Only you can find me and enter my secret place. I need privacy for a few hundred years. I can fly at night when no one sees me. My scales reflect radar. Wow. Center of the world. After studying the stars, Ko said, I declare officially to all humans and dragons that here at Felicity, California is the official center of the earth. And here at Felicity, California is also the official center of the world. UJ will build a monument at this very spot. And that's exactly what he did. And here's the creepy part. I send a kiss. Be sure to let it cool. To each boy and each girl on earth. And dear children of all ages, as you go to sleep at night, you can feel on your cheek the warm and gentle kiss of Ko the Good Dragon at the center of the world. The end. How creepy is that? The story is dedicated to children of all ages. Forthcoming, The Quest of Ko. Adventures on the way to the surface, as well as Phoebe and Ko visiting the world. Jay, the author, is the human ambassador to the dragons. TKS, the illustrator, lives in Scarsdale, New York, with her husband and 2 children. How many stars are there on this page? Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there's 9 and 9. That's 18. 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. 28. Wait, let's count them again. Sorry, guys. So there's 9, 10, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38. So there's 38 stars. And I think that's it. What a trip, you guys. Ko, the Good Dragon at the center of the world. That's it. That's a video of the cat that came by the other night. So what are your guys' thoughts on this? Before we maybe open up Google Earth and see if we can find this dragon. Now tomorrow, as many of you know, Monsanto built the World of Tomorrow at Disneyland in 1957. Tomorrow we're going to take a look at one of the floor plans from this particular World of Tomorrow, or House of Tomorrow. And it is a satanic double-cross floor plan. Now that Monsanto World of Tomorrow opened on 666, which is June 12th, 6 and 6 and 6. And it opened in 1957. And what did they feature at this Home of Tomorrow? They featured the microwave. And 57 is a microwave. It's 5G. So, the Home of Tomorrow is happening now. We'll break that down and we'll get caught up on all the other headlines tomorrow. And then Tuesday, we're going to go back to a 2017 comic in which coronavirus and bacillus, which is a fungus, is mentioned. There's even a Biff character in the comic. The comic is called Asterix and Obelisk. It was from 2017, several years before the pandemic started. So we have a full week already. Make sure to show up at the same time every morning. You won't get a notification because YouTube is trying to cancel this channel. They'll never send out a notification. And if they do, it'll be too late. So This is why we do daily shows, so you know exactly what time to show up. Now we're on the weekend. Usually I'll start an hour later on the weekend. But if you're here at the regular time, you'll see the live show and you can wait for it. So 7:30 Central Time, 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 West Coast time every single day. And let's go into Google Earth and see if we can find this dragon at Felicity in the landscape. Let's pull it up here and then I'll share screens with you guys in a second here. All right, let's take this grid off of here. All right, let's share screens. All right, now you should be able to see my screen. Felicity, California. It's right on the border of Arizona and California. And I guess they're calling the Chocolate Mountains up here. It's very close to Yuma. And you can almost make out a dragon in the green areas. Now, of course, all this is subjective. I mean, obviously, this is subjective, but you can almost make out the head of the dragon, and maybe that's what they were referring to because they gave us the clue that they knew the place because of what it looked like. Can almost make out these horns here, maybe two horns formed by these two rivers. I think that's the Colorado River, and the head of the dragon. Again, subjective, but we're going off of what they're saying, that there was some clue in the landscape. There's the Salton Sea coming up out of the sea, the beast coming up out of the sea, possibly, who knows? Bizarre. All right, let's go back into the chat. Close that up. All right, you guys, what are your thoughts on all this? Crazy times, right? Crazy times. Oh, let's go ahead and show you the Honey Milk Ranch. I almost forgot. All right, let's pull this up here. All right, let's go.
Well, it's time. You see that hanging Chad there on the tree? Now, what happened there was that when they were pushing down some of the other trees, it snapped that limb off. So I have to go try to pull that down. The way I'm going to do it, I'm going to use this line here, this hook on it. I'm going to try to get this, swing it up and around the lower limbs, try to get it to where it stays, and I'm just going to pretty much pull the limb off without hurting the tree. Let's go take a look, you guys. Let's check on the babies. Let's check on the elderberry. Got a lot of rain. Look at the weeds. They're all dying from the salt water. Amazing. That's just amazing. Now, I'll have to come back probably and touch some of these up, but it appears as though a lot of them are dying. I don't know what the difference is between some of them that died and some that didn't. I'll have to come back and do another dose. Let's get to this tree here.
Now, there's plenty of weeds on the property. Some people felt sorry for the weeds. There's plenty of weeds on the property. It's 6 acres, you guys. I'm only walking around one of those 6 acres. And these are areas that need to stay free of the weeds because the weeds carry ticks. And it just looks trashy, and it's in the driveway. It's not where the weeds are supposed to be. Nothing's ever going to grow there in terms of a garden. So I'm just only spraying certain areas that I need to be clear so I can walk back and forth, get the wood and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, check the elderberry. Thanks again, Rose. Elderberry number 1, looking fantastic. Made sure I didn't get any salt anywhere close to these. Fantastic. And where'd I put the other ones? 1, 2. Oh. Wow, that one's doing really good. Looks like a little bit of some bug action going on there, though, on this one. Jeez. Oh, and there's one back there. I think that's the last elderberry. I can't remember. There's 4 here, though. Oh, here's the other one. Oh, buddy. Some bug action going on.
So, thanks for all the suggestions. Permethrin, I guess, is what Rose told me to spray on them, but also you could do dish soap with neem oil, or even any kind of like essential oil with some water, and if you spray that on the leaves and around these plants, it'll keep the pests off of them. And who knows, it could be ants eating it, could be, who knows. I'm not really sure what's eating the leaves, but I don't want these elderberry trees to die, so.
Darn bugs. Anyway, I'll have to ask Rose what to do about that. I do have my muck boots on. Gosh, I just don't even know what these look like anymore.
So now I'm checking on the blackberries. They're doing really well. They love their new spot.
I think they're over here. Oh, here we go. Alright. Oh, there's one. There's a thornless blackberry. It's already starting to climb this way. That's good. Oh boy. Man, it's kind of hard to tell. Oh, there's one right there. There's one right there. That one's doing well too. Looks like it's already growing. So we're in good shape, you guys. Got any berries on there? Jeez. They get eaten fast. Ooh.
So a bunch of you were telling me, good luck getting blackberries off of there, because all the animals are going to stop by for a smorgasbord buffet before you even get to them. And I think you're right. Like, a couple of them started coming out and they're already gone. So,
ooh, skink. See that? Okay, well, let that do its thing. Let's get to this tree limb. Ooh, boy. That looks crazy. See that? That looks almost impossible. It's barely hanging on up there. See if we can get something going here.
Or so I thought. It looked like it was barely hanging on, but it was on there really good. I went at this for about an hour and a half, which of course was great exercise, but I wasn't even close to getting this thing off of the tree here. You can see it here. It's pretty much what happened was when they were clearing this area back here for the septic field, they were pushing trees over, because that's how they do it out here. They get a tractor and they just push the tree over, and somehow that just works really well. And when they did that, it nicked this tree and split one of its limbs, but it stayed on the tree, and it's been there for like a year and a half.
All I gotta do is get one of these boy, see, this is going to be harder than it looks. Let's see. Oh boy. It looks like it's barely hanging on. It's a pretty big limb though, you guys. Oh boy. Let's see.
So this went on and on and on. So I fast forwarded it for you guys. By the end of it, I was just laughing at myself. I was like, this is ridiculous. What am I going to do? Then my neighbor's like, just leave it on.
I don't know. Might be a job for the professionals. We'll give it a couple more tries here. I have a new respect for people who do this stuff. Man.
Now, I've seen all kinds of tricks. I did have to have a couple trees pulled off like last year. They were leaning over the house. I didn't want them to fall on the house. So I had them taken out, and this guy showed up with I don't remember if it was a bean bag with a string attached to it or something. And that's how he got the ropes up in the tree. Some people use projectiles, like they'll shoot, they have like a beanbag gun, and they can get a better aim without trying to like toss it with their hand. There's all kinds of cool tricks to get a rope up into a tree.
I need like a grappling. That would make this easier. Grapple it, right? But I don't have a grapple, so we're just gonna keep going with this hook. Maybe this is the problem. Plan B, rake. But first, can somebody do a poop identification? Don't know what kind of poop that is.
So got some scat, I guess they call it. That's probably not deer. It's probably like raccoon or something. I don't think it's bear. It looked like it had berries in it. Probably the berries from my bush.
But let's see if this rake will work. Gotta get it in there. There we go. All right. I can see the branch moving. See that? We can get this moving.
So it was at this point I got several really good swings on this thing. If it was barely attached, it would have fallen. But it was at this point I realized that this thing weighed a lot more than it looked from the ground. Like, this was definitely about a 200-pound branch. And if it fell on me, that would have been curtains.
Oh my gosh, this is dangerous. That thing falls, that's it. Game over, man. It's moving. It will not break. It ain't going. Wow. That is some serious branches. Well, we tried, you guys. Give it a good try. Appears as though, gosh, that's like 25 feet in the air. Like 20. Let's see, I'm 6'2", 6'1", 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 times, that's 30 feet in the air. Pretty impossible. I wasn't going to give up, but it's actually kind of dangerous. That limb right there is probably 150 pounds when you take a closer look at it. Wow.
So that's about it, you guys. I want to get you guys caught up on the homestead, let you know what was going on. My attempt at pulling a limb out of a tree. I mean, it sounds like something simple, but it's actually a lot more challenging than you might think. All right, you guys. Well, let's go into the chat here, see what's up with you guys. Thanks for showing up. But yeah, it's I wouldn't call it hard country life. It's actually a lot of fun. Like, every little project that pops into my head, I'm actually happy about it because it's like something to do, and it's something to do for something that's yours, you know? So it's a different kind of feeling than having to go to like a job or something or work for someone else and not get anything back out of it. And then also you're connecting with God, you know, like everything's connected to God out here. Everything you do is really fun and builds your relationship with God because there's this trust factor that happens. There's trust between you and him, and it's just a lot of fun is the best way I could describe it. Yes, trees are heavy, Marcy. And you know what's crazy is those are oak trees. They are very, very heavy. I pulled some oak out of my wood pile because I want to build some stairs. I got to build a couple sets of stairs, which, believe it or not, stairs are actually a little bit more complicated to build than you might think. There's some planning that has to go into it. There's kind of a formula. So I might try it, but I've got all the wood out. I got to get the hardware for it. And if I decide not to try it, at least everything's in place for Ben to put together a couple sets of stairs for me. So yeah, all right. Well, I'll let you guys get to your day. I love each and every one of you, and I guess we will talk next time. Talk tomorrow. Have a great rest of your day, everybody. Take care and be safe.